Penn State men's basketball yesterday landed another transfer. So Jay Rodgers officially signed as of today. That has been announced. The senior guard coming in from Central Connecticut. But along with him will be Brant Byers, the Miami, Ohio Redhawks wing. He has 2 years of eligibility remaining, coming from Chambersburg, PA. These past 2 seasons
can flat out shoot. He's a 6'8" wing that can shoot. He's
40% three-point shooter, about 78% from the foul line.
Let me take you back to the mid-'90s. He's Glenn Secunda.
There you go.
All right? I mean, that's who he is. And I watched maybe a half dozen, maybe 7 Miami of Ohio games this year because they became such a story. It had nothing to do with Brant Byers.
No, they became a story.
Just became such a great story. I kept thinking, I've got to watch this team play. And I started watching them play. And, man, I love watching them play offense. Defensively, it was like
but on offense.
But offensively, good. Now, moving forward, not done yet.
Yes.
Right? Not done
yet.
This
is the start.
Well, they're getting there.
Yeah.
Okay? The finish line is closer than you think. I would say at minimum 2, possibly 3 more to bring in.
I believe they had 5 roster spots open. Rodgers and Byers each fill 1 apiece. So they have 3 available.
Yeah. That's good.
So, mapping it out, Steve.
Right. But 2 or possibly 3, because last year they went with 12 guys as scholarships, plus Chris Latito. All right. So now, do you want to go with 13? Do you want to go with 12? So that's why I said 2 or 3. Again, it's about being older, and it's about points. Somebody asked me today, are they going to, what about the European? The European, no, they're going, look, right now it's about college players.
Yeah.
This is about college players right now. And that's what they're looking to do. And so the idea is to hit the floor next season with more scoring, more shooting, and more experience.
Well, spoiler, Brant Byers does all of that. As you mentioned, 6'8", he's listed as 200 pounds, can flat out shoot, shot 40% over his 2 years combined at Miami of Ohio, averaged his first year about 8.5 points a game. This past season jumped up about 12 extra minutes to 30 minutes a game, 31 minutes, averaged 14 points
flat out shoot
per game, 40% three-point shooter, 48% from the field, 79% from the foul line, gets about 4 rebounds a game, which is big.
Well, Jay Rodgers is 82 to 83% at the foul line. Again, it's like Hoosiers.
Yeah.
Hey, you can tell by he's playing in the Big Ten. Okay, but in Hoosiers, it's still 15 feet from the basket to the foul line. That hasn't changed.
Free throws win championships, Steve Jones. Ask Shabazz Napier that question.
I mean, free throws, you want to be able to close. And again, as I pointed out yesterday, Penn State wasn't in enough close games, but they had 7 that were decided by 5 points or less. They were 4-3 in those games, and they shot 86% as a team at the line in those 7 games.
He also... Byers gets the line. He's had multiple games of double-digit foul shots this past season.
Because he takes it to the bucket. He's a scorer, which is that's terrific. Okay, but they are closing in right now, and again, 2, maybe 3 more. But the idea for Mike is, look, right? You were the youngest team in college basketball, what were they, 352 last year?
They were 352 out of 361.
365.
365?
Okay?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, the idea is flip it. Okay? His idea, he says, you know what? We're going to be one of the oldest teams in college basketball. We're going to go for it from there.
A senior point guard, a now junior wing. Right. You add in, of course, the 2 Europeans, Weibo, who I believe is 19 or 20-ish. He's in 20s.
I think he's 19.
So you've got Weibo, you add him in, and then you add on in Percussion, who is in his 20s. He's 23. So you change out, let's say, I know he's in the portal, Mason Blackwood was a freshman. You go from him to a 23-year-old. It's a very quick jump. Right. So getting older, getting more experience, adding in scoring.
But they are making strides, and they're in with people right now. Okay, they are in with people. The question is going to be, okay, you have to be the one that ends up being, you want X. Well, X has to oblige and say they want you.
Yeah.
Well, So far, they've had a couple guys and 2 Europeans. So he asked that. So it's 4 significant additions that they've made to the team, but not done yet. And when they're done, expect this to be a much more older, experienced team. And then we'll see, starting in the summertime, starting in mid-June, how all the parts fit together.
Yeah. And when we have the roster at least completed at that point, we're going to really break it down, talk through it, what it's going to look like, what you expect it to look like at
what
least.
What it can look like.
Yes.
Okay? Because, again, we are at a point where by the end of September, I'll start to get you a pretty good read on teams in college football, because you want to see how everybody meshes.
Yeah.
It's not just like right now you're making assumptions about teams.
Well, again, we discussed yesterday,
And
Keaton
in
Wagler. Keaton Wagler came in, wasn't the starter. Spoiler, he's a lottery pick in the draft coming up.
Sure. Yeah, but that's a freshman player. I'm talking about the meshing of veterans together as to how they mesh. Illinois ended up, through some trial and error, meshing. Right? Michigan never needed any trial and error. They just kind of blew through the schedule. I mean, they beat Gonzaga by 40 points, for goodness sake. That's Gonzaga. Okay, that's not the YMCA team from the corner that had a pickup group that came over. It was Gonzaga. So they had no problem meshing. Illinois took a little while to mesh. Indiana never meshed, and they had 6 seniors. Their top 6 players were all seniors, and they did some things well, but they never meshed. Right, as a team, and it showed up. Yes, did they win some games? Yes, but they also lost a lot of games. We sat back and said, I can't believe they lost that game. So that's why even in college basketball, same story. November into early December, it starts to give me a better read about where people are and who's starting to mesh and who isn't. Going into the Indiana game, which you worked, going into the game, Dick and I didn't think Indiana was really that great.
But you said their team is looking to rebound because they had lost their last 2 games in fashion they didn't enjoy.
In fact, they lost at Minnesota.
Yeah, and they were looking to rebound, and spoiler, Lamar Wilkerson rebound.
He rebounded, but when we were going back to the hotel, what did we say? We just saw them play in person, and we both said the same thing. They really aren't that great.
No, it was just he got incredibly hot and can't control that.
And that had nothing to do with Penn State. We're talking about them, evaluating them. We're like neither one of us could see it. And it was mid-December at this point. Neither one of us could see it. I don't know. Because I even said to Don Fisher, I said, I don't know. I said, we all know, for Penn State, I said, this is, this could be a tough one. I told him that. I said, but to be honest with you, Don, I said, I'm not so sure how good your team is. He says, Steve, I don't know either.
I believe they call that the law of averages. If you get a football championship, your basketball team is a little bit worse the next season. Steve,
who knows? But I'm just saying that's why I'm saying, using that as an example, that it takes a little bit of time in today's ever-changing portal world to figure out how all the parts fit. So we'll sit down and tell you what guys are capable of once the roster is together. But how it meshes and how it plays out, it's going to take me a while, because it's not like the old days where they have 3 returning starters, 2 of their key bench players are going to move up and so forth. Recruiting class is one of the top rated in the country, so you kind of it's not like that anymore.
No, it's a musical chairs.
Thanks for listening to Sports Talk with Steve Jones. Catch the latest from me on the 7 Mountain Sports YouTube page. Find clips of the show on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook by searching up 7 Mountain Sports.